All technical difficulties.
Man.
It's gonna happen.
Okay,
Bound
you
to
should have
happen.
sound now.
How's the sound now? We're getting hearts now, I think.
Okay. The first time I go live.
You're all good. Shit happens.
Okay. I think we're working now. So.
Let me make sure.
Yeah. I think we're working
It's
now.
not working.
No. Wait. Wait for a second. It's a delay.
Okay.
It's moving right there.
Gotcha.
So they should hear
There
us.
it goes.
All right. Now we're going.
Okay, I'm turning this down now.
All right. So we're back to working again.
Sorry, y'all.
Sorry, okay, they don't know this. I went and got a mixer and new mics and everything. We got new mics because I want a good quality sound. And I tell you right now, I don't know if it's the computer or the software or what, but it works, and then all of a sudden it don't work.
All right.
I don't know why it's doing it, but we're gonna try this again. I do apologize. I'm very sorry. I'm also nervous too. So.
You're all good.
All right. So as I was saying, I'm gonna start over for the second time. Okay. So Sid got a letter in the mail from the courts. Okay, and this is how we're gonna get our hour.
Right. Well, we're gonna be able to go past this if we need to on the live on Facebook. So if y'all don't get to see the whole show or hear the whole show on the radio, make sure you go to Cannabis Open Carry Walks on Facebook, and you can look at the live feed there. And it may go over the hour depending.
Yeah, we apologize for the inconvenience. You need to plug your phone in. I got to charge it. But no, so Sid got a letter in the mail on Saturday.
I do for this one.
Oh, okay. And the letter said that she had to make sure that she tested clean when she came in for her indictment. And we called our lawyer, and our lawyer's like, yeah, you need to be clean. And she's like, you also need to try whatever you can do to show that you're, in your best interest, you're trying to do what the requirements are, is go to AA meetings and stuff like that. And she's like, do I really need to do that? And they're like, yeah. So she's really trying her best to be clean. Now remember, guys, what I said, she has been smoking over 10 years, every single day, daily smoker, every single day. And for the past year and a half that I've known her, she has actually been off of medication and trying to use cannabis as a natural supplement. You see what I'm saying? So her body, and she was on dabs, and dabs is a high concentrate. So now her body is saturated with cannabis. And so she was reaching out to everybody, which we thank y'all so much, but she was reaching out to everybody asking, what do I do? What do I do? How do I cleanse myself? And, in a quick time, which we have 47 days. So when we reached out to everybody, a lot of people hit us up. And we want to say thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Also, there's other reasons too, and I'll get into that here in just a minute. But it raised a question. Like I said, you saw her, and you see how her anxiety is like off the wall. Crazy.
And I know personally
how she is with
because
that.
I've had, well, I know how it feels.
Yeah, you have anxiety yourself.
Because I have just exactly what she has, and I've had to quit a few times, and so I know what the anxiety and stuff that comes with that. And what it is you actually kind of have somewhat of a withdrawal. I'm not saying that you get addicted to cannabis, but it helps so much your nerves that when you don't have it, you are anxious because of the fact that you ain't got your meds. It's not helping.
Your body's used to it.
And then also it can make you nauseous, and because of your anxiety being so high, because it's used to being normal and level when you have cannabis, but once you don't have it, then you're peak high all the time.
And that raises the question, which just came up in a couple of days. If y'all have seen my videos in the past, I always talk about Sid's anxiety. I've never dated anybody that has a high, off the wall, off the chart anxiety. And to the point to where I was like, when I first noticed it, I was like, what the hell was that? I haven't seen nobody just like flip out. And I don't mean flip out. She's not like that. But I'm just saying her anxiety is like, she'll be like walking in out of the room. I'm like, calm down. What's wrong with you, woman? Are you on something? What's wrong? And I get to the point where I got mad. Well, in the past 2 days, she has cleansed herself where she hasn't smoked in a long time. And so I see the whole other side of her. And she's like, you're going to hate me. I'm like, no, I'm not. I just need to know what's going on. So as I saw it, I was like, wow. It actually made me see a whole nother side of her. And I know that's not her. And I was like, okay, so she ain't fucking lying. Let's just put it that way. And I don't mean to say it like that, but she ain't lying. She's like, you're going to see a different side because I don't know how to stop what's going on up here. And so she actually went to her doctor.
That's a proof on how much cannabis helps people with anxiety right there.
But now raises the question. My daughter, love you, girl. My daughter is a very debatable person when she talks to me.
Right.
We always debate back and forth, back and forth. Well, she was over here. We had Father's Day barbecue, and she sat right here, and Sid was telling her, what she's doing, and she was like, "I'm kind of glad you're not doing that." She goes, because, how do you know what recreational, just sitting down, relaxing, and enjoying a blunt or a joint, because you're not always up here. And like I told her, I enjoy smoking weed. Don't get me wrong, I do. But I'm always up here. Always up here. And because she smokes quite often. And so I was staying up there with her. One smoke after another. I'm going to smoke with you, girl. I'm not fine. I'm like on my third one going, whew, calm down.
It affects you
I got to breathe.
For us, it doesn't really make us high.
Yeah. For y'all, it levels
makes
you out.
us normal.
Yeah.
Like, that's our normal. Like, we can actually function. Our brain slows down to where it's not racing. We have a fear. Like, your anxiety gets so bad, you're scared. Like, for instance, if I go into HEB and a bunch of people around me, I automatically go into fight or flight mode. Like, I want out of that situation. Like, I'm stuck and there's no way out. And so my heart will start racing. And I don't have those anymore, though, now that I smoke. But I know that that's what she's going through right now. And so if you can imagine feeling like that, and that's why she's freaking. Yeah.
And I even asked her, like I said, she went to the doctor today. And she's like, I want you to know that I don't want anything to happen between us, and because I don't want to end up going to jail for this. And I was like, let's not talk about something that hasn't happened yet. First off, we haven't got any kind of a plea. Her lawyer is just now going in today to see what they're going to offer us and whatnot. We haven't, like I said, she hasn't even been indicted yet. We're trying to get this done. She's trying to get it done beforehand, just to get it over with, get it out of the way, be done with it so we can move on with our lives. And she's like, I feel like this is like, putting our lives on hold, where we're starting a life. And
you're having to wait for this
now
to
it's
be
like
over.
We gotta wait for this to get over. And she's like, I just want to get it over
and for our new listeners, what exactly was it that Sydney was charged with, and why is she going through?
We were going to Cannabis 2018.
Yes.
And as we were going to Cannabis, we actually brought some products with us because we were our first time meeting a lot of people with CLCW. We knew we were going to be staying in a big beach house with a lot of people, and we wanted to be, say hello to everybody. We wanted to bring some stuff and share and enjoy a good time. We actually brought quite a bit, and we did. I ain't gonna lie, it's not a lot for us, I should say.
Right.
And but she had her medicine with her, which
Luckily, they didn't get the brownies.
Yeah, they would have got us for that. We had 2 dozens of brownies, special brownies.
But they tested it in a bag.
Yeah, they're like, no, they're good. So they threw it back in the truck.
They gave them back to
but she had her medicine with her, which is her dabs. She loves to dabs. Y'all don't know. If y'all know Sydney, she loves dabs. I mean, this girl was like, hey, my connection called me. Got to go. And she would just up and boop. And I'm like, wow. You know, she loves her dabs. She does. Now, that's the reason why I raised the question. My daughter was talking about addiction, being that you stay high all the time because you use cannabis. She goes, do you understand that? And it made sense to me when she told me. And I want to say it to y'all. She said, Dad, she smokes weed all day long, pretty much. I said, yeah, she smokes a couple of blunts throughout the day, and then throughout the day, she'll take a few dab hits. And she goes, but do you understand that she's up here all the time? Even though it mellows her out, she's still up here all day long. And she goes, what about when she wants to just to sit down and recreate with you and just enjoy a joint and enjoy the wonderful high without being up here all the time? She goes, because she'll never feel it.
Right.
Like you were telling me, you said that you smoke a joint. It's like
it's normal.
Yeah, I'm just all right because she's already up there. Even though your mind is mellowed out, your brain, you're still high.
Well, if you think about it this way, okay, you take medication, right?
Yeah.
Well, I know you don't, but most people have taken medication, and you know when you take the medication, over time, it may be stronger when you first take it, but over time,
your body
gets immune.
Yeah.
And what used to be a big deal for you no longer is, and the doctor will up the dose.
Yeah.
Well, with weed, you can only get so high.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only get to your highest point, and then you just smoking and wasting your weed. Because,
we got doggies. My other daughter came in. Hang on a second, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you got to think of it that way. Your tolerance builds up, and so it then becomes your medication that you use daily, and it's not a big deal. It doesn't get you stoned like it did when you first smoked it.
Yeah, and my daughter made a good point. She's like, and it's true. So when Sid went to the doctor today, I was like, I'm not against Western medicine. Let's understand that real quick. I have to keep repeating this because a lot of people attacked me on this. I'm not against Western medicine. I'm against pills that you get addicted to that doesn't do anything but just prolong shit. If somebody has some type of a disease, I'll give you an example. All right, let's talk about indigestion. I take Prilosec.
Right.
I don't take it every day. I take it about maybe 3 times a week. It controls it. But there's some people who have to take Prilosec every single freaking day because anything they eat gives them indigestion.
Right. And
it's so common that if you go to Walmart, it takes up a whole freaking small row right in front of the pharmacy. The whole row is Prilosec, indigestion medicine. Now this is a whole nother topic that we're talking about, but being that I have to make sure I take mine at least 2 or 3 times a week so I don't wake up choking on myself and not getting sleep because I have acid reflux real bad.
Right.
Or trying to work and you're bending over and whatnot. And if you understand what I'm talking about, you understand what I'm talking about. All right. That's my point. You're taking something for the rest of your life. When medicine is supposed to heal us. Some people are like, well, medicine is also supposed to help you deal with pain. Like some people who have pain because of a car accident, like Sid, she has really bad pain in her hips and her arm because of a car accident. She's got metal rods in her arms and her legs. And we're talking metal rods, full surgery, not just a little pin. We're talking full rod from hand to elbow and from hip to knee.
Right.
And so she's got metal on her, like other people who's been in accidents or whatnot, who deal with the pain on a regular basis. So they have to take pain meds for the rest of their life, so they get addicted to it. I'm against the addiction. I'm saying that there's better ways to handle treating yourself in a more natural route. If you need to move to the Western medicine,
try that first.
Yeah,
try that first.
Why is that not an option for us? Yeah. People who buy our own. I buy my own insurance. If you go work, you pay for your insurance. It's not cheap, and I have to buy my own full price. And so I'm looking around trying to find the right insurance and realizing that my insurance don't pay for healing myself with natural medicine. It's all about Western medicine. And if you go to the doctor, they're going to try to give you 2, 3, 4, 5 prescriptions on top of this, and this side effects for this, so you need to take this. And it's like, wait a second. Medicine is supposed to heal us. You always went to, I'm Native American, so we always went to our medicine man for our healing. to be healed, not to be put on something that you're going to be taking for the rest of your life. So understand, I'm not against Western medicine. I'm just against it.
It's just dangerous.
Well, no, I ain't stupid.
Unless you need it. I mean,
they're
there are people
making
that
medicine
need it so bad.
for addiction. Addiction is a business in itself.
Exactly.
And I don't care what nobody says. I'm not trying to start no drama. I'm telling you, I know way too many people who are addicted to pills.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm against. I'm against that. Okay. Now, the whole point of, like my daughter was saying, cannabis being an addictive. I think, like in Sydney's case, because I'm still new to this, guys, my opinion is I think in Sydney's case, her body got immune to it, so her body felt comfortable with it.
Right. And
So-
then now that it don't have it, now
Yeah.
her body's like, oh my God, that was
Yeah.
helping my
You're
anxiety,
always-
and now I'm not
But
normal.
see, now addiction
So you
causes.
feel like the anxiety about needing it because you need it.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this: what about addiction? How do you feel when somebody's coming off of an addiction? They get sick,
They
get fever,
sick. They
throw
get the
up.
shits. They get throw up.
I mean, they get all that.
They get the shakes. They get the sweats. They get
Let's talk
the
about-
muscle cramps. Oh God, it's horrible. It's
All right,
horrible.
so
to go
let's
through
talk
withdrawal.
about withdrawals.
Yes.
Okay, so I think Sid's having withdrawals, not an addiction withdrawal, but a withdrawal because, for instance, people who are quitting drinking coffee, smoking cigarettes. I mean, I had to kick that habit. That was a motherfucking habit. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I had to wing myself off of it. And Sid just quit cold turkey
Yeah,
in the last 2 days.
I could quit smoking. I've done it before, just
Yeah.
quit cold turkey, and I didn't have any, except for the fact that it used to help my anxiety, and it doesn't anymore, and I get severe anxiety about that. Except for that, I don't think it was addicted as far as throwing. I didn't throw up. I didn't get the shakes. I didn't get the muscle cramps. I didn't get that horrible pain medicine withdrawal. Because, I mean, it's heroin, y'all. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, and
then you wonder, the doctors take the pain pills away, and you wonder why you got so many heroin addicts out there. It's because they're trying to fill that addiction that the doctors gave them.
Yeah, Sean Howard made a good point of that. He uses it for insomnia. He's been using,
Yes.
you know, and so I love a high indica strain because I like the fact that it helps you sleep at night. I don't have to smoke a lot, but I can smoke a nice sized blunt or a joint,
Right.
and I can sleep throughout the whole night. I remember the first time I smoked and had a good night's sleep. I was like, wow. You know, but I've gotten some sativa strains, smoke a nice joint before I go to bed, and like
It depends if it's
I
night or
can't
day
sleep.
for me. Because during the day, I want to be up, man, cleaning my house and taking care, doing this shit that you got to do
Yeah.
throughout the day. And then, so I can smoke the sativa in that time. And then, but unfortunately, we don't get that choice here in Texas. You
No,
get what
we
you
don't.
get, and you don't throw a fit.
Yeah, not working. That's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to do something, guys. Sorry about that. I was trying to do something. But yeah, no, I agree with you. So as far as like my
Did you
understanding,
lose them?
no, did I?
Let me see.
I might have. Oh, I did. Sorry, guys. I
You're good.
apologize.
You didn't lose them here. You just lost them on the chat. But yeah, I think it's maybe a mental need. I don't really think that I wouldn't call it addiction.
No.
Like you would get the withdrawals from that. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
by the
but
way.
Okay. Withdrawals, like what Sydney's going. What I think what Sid's going through, the withdrawals, okay, is I think she's used to having it. Now she quit cold turkey, so she hasn't had any
Yeah.
weed at all in the last almost 48 hours. So she quit cold turkey, but and I think
a heroin addict wouldn't be able to be in that
do
room
what she's doing right now.
with this right here without getting sweaty,
Good point.
without getting
point.
shaky. That don't happen. So I
Or
wouldn't
whether-
call
or
it
whether
addic-
crawled up
I
in
wouldn't
bed for
call
about
it
5 days, 6 days.
withdrawal. Because
How-
withdrawal, I don't know. I wouldn't call it withdrawal.
Okay, let's ask everybody. Okay, if you've ever had to come off of a hardcore drug and you had to fight that addiction, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's
I
a
didn't
lot of horror
met,
stories.
I've been clean for 15, 16 years now. And no, longer than that. But I haven't touched it since. But I know for a fact the withdrawal that you can get 6 months later after doing that, just by seeing a color of the needle cap that was on the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just by, you like want it. So I've been through that withdrawal, and I don't know, I wouldn't call it withdrawal. I would call it your body is feeling what it does, what it helps instead of being comfortable, and so your body is craving. Maybe that's the word. Craving more help.
But what about, like you said, you were on some meth, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when you were coming off of it, the addiction. Okay, because I've seen a lot of movies where we're talking about laying in
sick. 2 months of being sick.
Being sick. So were you laid in bed sick? See, now that is a hardcore addiction. That's what my comparison. I mean, she's in there doing work. She's in there with, she's not like she's not able to do her everyday life. She's just, her anxiety is through the roof right now.
Right.
So with her anxiety through the roof, it puts her more at a part where she's freaking out over little things because it's just her anxiety. But
it's the anxiety.
So would you say, in your own opinion, would you say that cannabis is addicted?
I wouldn't think it's not addicting.
I wouldn't say addicted.
Because I've been addicted.
Yeah.
And
you've seen both sides.
You wouldn't be able to be in the next room with some meth and not do it. Like, when you're coming down off meth, it would make you not sick anymore.
Yeah.
So you would do it because you don't want to be sick.
Yeah. So and then that goes to where they're not able to do their everyday life because they're balled up in a fetus position on the bed.
Sweating.
Like you said, how long was you in bed when you stopped and you were going through that?
It was a whole month and a week of being sick, puking, not being able to hold anything down, and then after that it was just mental, and then your brain, when you do meth, it takes away that serotonin, is that what it's called? Am I using the right word? Out of your brain. So it releases it all at once. I don't know if that's the right word, I'm sorry, but once you do that, it takes you almost a year to 2 years to get that back, to make where your head is producing it on its own. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for a whole year, you're not happy. You don't have that happy thing, and so
you're missing what you're used to having. Your body was used to having.
You literally reprogram your brain. And
I know a lot of people who were alcoholics.
Cannabis is definitely not like that.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. And only because I'm only a 2-year in of an everyday smoking, but I've gone a couple of days without it, and I always say to everybody, I don't smoke as much as Sid, and there's days where I do smoke all day long with her,
and there's times you say,
we're not doing nothing.
I would like a joint, but you're not going to go steal your neighbor's radiator to go get it. You see what I'm saying? That's addiction.
Yeah, where you steal, well, I mean, there's people who do steal for the most stupidest reasons. It don't matter. Right. It don't have to be that, but that's not common. As far as what you would see with crack, people who are on crack,
exactly,
people who are on more hardcore drugs.
That is addiction.
Or I knew a friend of mine who was addicted to pain pills.
Yes, that's another one.
I knew he was taking pain pills because he had surgery, but I noticed he was popping them more daily, a couple times throughout the day, and I seen it to where he was shaking his ball going, I need to re-up, and he would start freaking out. And I was like, dude, you are way too addicted to those pills.
It's heroin. It really is.
But he realized that once I said something to him, I'm like, and as a friend to our friend, well, actually we were co-workers, but as a co-workers, I just said, hey man, you might need to check yourself out because you're, once or twice a day and you're taking those things 4 or 5 years, I'm in pain. I'm like, then you need to get checked out because you're popping way too many pills, and he's screaming, and getting worked up because he was running out.
Right.
And that's when I realized it. So,
and that's just, that makes me laugh.
You don't see that with cannabis.
That's what I'm saying. People are so judgmental about this. We've been sitting here doing a show, having a conversation, and we've been smoking, and we're normal, everyday people.
Yeah, and that's the reason why,
But they will take and pop those pills the doctors give them, and that's okay. But it's synthetic heroin. If you're taking that ADHD medication, what's that, Adderall? It's synthetic meth. And that's okay for them. They're allowed to take that. Yeah. That's perfectly normal for my doctor. But oh my God, don't smoke a plant.
Yeah. You bring up a question where, you bring up a question. I'm sorry, I had someone knock on the door. I apologize. You bring up a question where I've had people tell me, what do you think about, cannabis and babies or cannabis and kids? Because you see a lot of horror stories on the news and as well as on Facebook or any kind of, social media platform. And sorry, got distracted. You distracted me there for a second.
Sorry, I was reading.
And as far as I know, and people ask me, well, what do you think about kids being on it? Because you see a lot of these stories on Facebook, and I would have people ask me, because if y'all don't know, I have a small company where I do service plumbing, and I have a lot of customers I meet on a daily who are not knowledgeable about cannabis at all, and then I got people who are more knowledgeable than me, and they're educating me, and they ask it, and I've asked these questions to people. I'm like, well, what do you think about cannabis and babies and kids taking it as far as like oil drops or CBD and stuff like that? Or if they're fighting cancer or a tumor or anything.
And that's just it. This is CBD oil, but just to let people know, kids normally would take something like this in oil form, and they would get a couple drops of it. That's what you wouldn't hand a kid a joint.
No,
I believe
I think
this helps stop a kid's seizure. Then why not?
That goes back with the stigma. Okay. The stigma. You say weed, we're smoking. Yeah. And that's the first thing. That's what people say when you say cannabis or weed. They look at a joint. Okay? That's the first thing. That's stigma. Okay? What we're providing is natural healing using whether it be hemp CBD or whether it be the Rick Simpson oil drops.
Have them eat a cookie.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you can make edibles. Kids who've got some illness that requires CBD or even THC, okay? But that's where when people talk about cannabis and we're on the side of the road holding our flags up and our signs and trying to get people to understand that we want cannabis to be legal here in Texas, we're fighting for not just this, but we're also fighting for this.
Exactly.
Tinctures. You understand?
I stand with Alexis. The girl had to flee to Colorado because she can't get THC here in Texas the amount that she needs for her epileptic seizures.
Yeah.
She's been, 5-6 years?
Yeah. Well, I think she's
5 years seizure free, I think.
5 years. Well, she's been in Colorado 5 years. I think I saw a poll. She thinks she was 4 years.
4 years?
Seizure free.
So see, and that went from seizures every day to nothing. And living a perfectly healthy life now.
And that's where, like I said, we're trying to educate people to understand. You have to understand this. If you go back in the history.
The other thing people say is it damages their brain.
Yeah, no.
Cannabis damages kids' brain. Well, no, you know what? Even if it does a little bit, what do you think that seizure is doing to that kid's brain? I mean, I'm sorry, but I would rather let them damage it a little bit than damage it a lot with that seizure,
You have to understand this. I don't know how far along people have been smoking. And I've been trying to figure that out. That's one of the things I'm working on right now is trying to figure out how far to go back to know how long were they smoking this. But if you go back and...
God, it's been forever. Probably
I know the
oil,
the tinctures of oil has been around forever. They were using the oil off of the plant way before we were smoking it.
Probably.
Okay? And whether it been hemp...
We're probably eating it. Our cows and cattle started probably eating it first. We were getting it in our system that way through the...
Well, I mean, I'm talking about going as far back as when they were making oil. It's in the Bible.
Oil?
There's scriptures in the Bible of hemp, whether it be hemp or cannabis, not sure, but either one was in the oil. But that tells you right there that it was being used since the Bible times, So as far as, I'm not the most educated person, but I do know when somebody asks me, well, how do you feel about cannabis and kids? I said, well, I can tell you this much, that if I had full control of what's going on with my kids, I'm making sure that if they got an illness as a brain tumor or a cancer, I'm doing the Rick Simpson oil. I'm doing the highest concentrate oil that I can possibly get to put into my kid. And if I have to lean towards radiation, chemo, then that would be the last option I do. But yeah, heck yeah, I'm gonna try the natural route first, because it is, with all the stories coming out, it's time to open everybody's eyes and learn more that the stigma has been pounded into our history for so many years, since 1937, and it's time for us to bring it out and go, look, we need to actually learn more about it. We need to do more studies, and let's get rid of the freaking stigma.
Exactly.
Okay.
Israel's done studies, but we won't accept that from Israel, but we give them money and accept everything else. But Why aren't we accepting their
I think
cannabis
now we are doing more research now. We've got a lot of states that are actually.
Well, they've made it legal now to where they can do this.
They can actually do the studies.
Do the research they need.
But you know, the best studies you're going to get though is through people like y'all who's done it, who's been through it.
Stories
of hearing people. I've smoked every single day. Like, you know, I know you asked me about this earlier, and I guess we're gonna bring it up now. Sid, after today, she went to the doctor. And she surprised me. She came back and she was like, you know, we're talking about starting our family and whatnot. And she came to me and she had a Mirena pulled out. That was my little surprise today. And so I was like, wow, she's serious. She really wants to start our life, you know, and she's wanting to get started on it. And so that surprised me. And that brought up a conversation about cannabis and being pregnant. And I was like, would you smoke? And she's like, probably not. Just for the fact that it's not the fact that I trust that it's not going to harm my baby. She goes, it's our state.
Yeah,
it's our state.
Laws. You would get your kid taken away. That ain't worth it.
And she's like, for that alone. I said, well, what if you were to have complications and you wanted to use something to help with, you know, a lot of women who are nausea all the way through pregnancy.
And if that's the case, then smoke.
Yeah, and then she's like, well, I guess I would try.
They let you stay on. They told me it was worse to get off Xanax when I was pregnant than it was to keep taking it.
Yeah, like a cigarette person smokes. It don't shock your body.
So if they're going to let you take that when you're pregnant, I mean, cannabis ain't worse than that.
Well, and since our state has now changed its laws, we've got our bill that just passed, HB 3703, am I right? Yes.
Yes, 3703.
Sorry, I'm looking at my cheat notes.
Yeah, it's... Sorry, y'all. It's still 0.5 THC, which sucks, really, because all these people I'm telling you that it helps, it may help a fraction of them, but honestly, the ones that are in true pain, like the cancer patients that are dying, 0.5% is double the CBD limit oil. It's nothing. It doesn't even get you high. So, therefore, it's not going to be enough for most people. Now, I'm so happy that it's taking a step, but the baby steps, man, is really...
It's as far as people who recreational smoke, they're going to recreational smoke. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't
matter. But as far as the people that need medicine, that would rather have this natural alternative instead of big pharma pills, then that's really what I'm fighting for.
Right.
I'm also fighting for the fucking lies. Sorry, guys, just the lies in general.
Yeah, the lies that we've been told.
I mean, look at it this way. Think about how many people that are going to fight, you know, to get this so they can have that. When it was around years and years and years in the beginning of time, I guess, since the Bible days, and just since 1937, we're dealing with this much stigma. You want to hear something? This is not cannabis talk at all now, but because I love doing conspiracy theory research on YouTube.
Right.
I love it. It's fun for me, and I don't believe everything I see, but it's fun. But a fact though, I was watching a video, and do you know since they started the first automobile, we're not talking train engine motors, not steam motors, but automobiles since 1844, and since plastic was invented, just a little over 100 years, we've destroyed this earth.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
We've destroyed this earth in just that short amount of time.
Think about your ocean water. You can't even really
think about how long
anymore.
People think about how long humans has been on Earth. We've destroyed the earth in that short amount of time. It made me open my eyes up. I was like, wow, just a little over 100 years.
Yeah.
We've destroyed the earth. Humans. You know, and then we're fighting over something that's natural like this.
Speaking of destroying the earth, cannabis put it back to cannabis.
Yeah. Think of what it could say.
Number one, the cannabis roots itself, and when it's growing, it cleanses the ground that it's on.
Also,
so it takes radiation out of the ground.
Yep.
So
they're using it in Japan right now.
Yeah, planting it will help our ground soil clean up. Not only that, but then you got the biodegradable plastic, which hemp passed. So all this stuff is going to start happening.
Oh yes.
Thank God, hemp passed.
Hands on that. God, seriously, no.
It's a big deal.
My daughter was telling me how much plastic is in our ocean right now. I think she said, "Is it the Puerto Rican area?" Well, she was here. I'll tell you right now. That it's as big as Texas.
Right.
An island of plastic as big as Texas. floating in our ocean.
And see, we got the capability of making plastic that just biodegrades, and we're finally going to start using it.
But see, what are we fighting? We're fighting the stigma.
Stigma, yes.
We know what's good. We know what hemp, we know what cannabis can do, whether it be cannabis as far as recreational, smoking, drops, or we can talk about hemp, the paper, plastic, hempcrete. I mean, there's so much
alone.
There's just so much.
Fireproof, basically. Yeah. It would stop the fire from going from one room to the other. Yeah. It would keep it. You get more time to get out.
Yeah. But think about how much hemp could save us. That's not what we're fighting. Right. We're fighting the stigma. It doesn't matter how you look at it. It doesn't matter what topic you talk about. The government's only on one thing. Oh, they just want to get high. Well, look. I would rather get high than drink. I would rather have high people on the roads instead of drunk people on the roads. Okay? Hawaii made tobacco illegal.
What?
Hawaii made tobacco illegal.
See, I don't know about that, because if somebody wants to smoke,
I've been seeing it on Facebook. No, I haven't actually did my research.
I mean,
Forgive me if I'm lying, but
it's hurting their own body.
They're saying that they've made tobacco illegal.
I mean, but I can see why. It's horribly wrong for you.
If I'm right, I think I'm right.
For you, but I know that they did it somewhere. I did read an article, but I can't remember where.
Yeah. I mean, am I against it? Yeah, I am. I mean,
I'm against it because of your freedoms. They're taking more and more of our freedoms away every day. And
I believe that people should make their own choices, but at the same time, okay, we should be able to have our choice. We have to have that choice, motherfuckers. I'm serious. You want us to have choices. We choose between drinking or alcohol or drinking and tobacco or drinking and weed. We have to have that choice. Same thing with our insurance. We only have big pharma. Where's the other option? Eastern medicine? You have to go find an Eastern medicine doctor just to get that. Why can't we have our doctor choose our natural route? But why can't, not just cannabis alone. I'm talking about natural route in general. We should have a natural route to choose that our insurance could pay for.
Right.
And not just, oh, your doctor has to give you these pills. That's all Western medicine. What if I wanted the opposite route? Why can't I have that insurance that allows that? That's all. That's all. But I think the choices should be there. It doesn't matter what you do. If you want to do drugs, you want to drink, you want to smoke tobacco, you want to smoke weed, it's your choice. Like she's saying, it's your freedom. But we have to have those choices.
Yes, and you have your consequences to those choices.
Hey, Jake, what's up, man?
Of course, but
hey, Dan.
You're in. The government's in enough of our shit as it is already. They don't need no more control than they already have.
We're losing our control.
Yeah, we need to take our control back.
We're losing our control. And as a man my age, and I'm going to tell you right now.
There's more of us than there are them, y'all. Stand up.
I know how life was before, my younger age, and growing up now and realizing, yeah, technology is great. I ain't going to lie to you. I mean, we wouldn't be able to do this right now.
Right.
But as far as how many laws is made up every year, you can't do this. Oh, topic. Okay. Now, if I'm lying, forgive me, but kratom, is it illegal or not?
It's not illegal.
Okay, but they're cracking down on it. I mean, a lot of shops are being raided for kratom. Now,
I don't know a lot about kratom, so I don't really want to talk about it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
that was the topic. I didn't know much about kratom. I kept hearing about it. I've had people hit me up and tell me about kratom.
I do think it's addicting because the people that I know that do take it are like, but I don't know. I've taken it once and I never took it regularly.
But it's sold in like, I know 4 different smoke shops. You can get it. And I don't know a lot about it, but I mean, I heard a lot of people talking about it. But now that it's becoming a big talk and you're seeing a lot more people that are talking about how it helps them get off of drugs. And I've heard a lot of people tell me that. But here's the thing. But because a lot of people's talking about it and a lot of people's asking for it and it's becoming a big deal, now the government gets involved and has to regulate it just like cannabis.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just what I'm saying.
And now they're making synthetic CBD oil. Did you read that?
I read something about it, but I don't know.
It does the same stuff as CBD,
Here's
but it's not CBD.
Big
Why
Pharma,
don't you just use CBD?
Big Pharma, if you're watching.
It's not hurting anybody.
Okay, here's my thing. Why can't you just make natural shit? Why can't you just use the roots in the ground, the trees and the berries and whatnot, and make natural shit instead of coming up with all these chemical compounds that are addicting, you know? And then you say, okay, oh, well, it's so bad for you. Then why are you making a a clone of it.
Exactly. Why are you
making a synthetic version of it? If it doesn't do anything, then why are you fucking with it? Leave it alone. Leave it natural.
Patent on cannabis. Why in the world do they got a patent?
I want everybody to grow their own. That's what I want. You know what you're growing. It's natural. If you want to use cannabis as your natural alternative, grow your own.
Exactly.
If you're in a legal state, if you don't have a green thumb like me, which I don't, I will.
Right.
I've got 3 people that know how to grow it. They're going to become my best friends. I ain't lying. Hey, when I went to Colorado, I was actually working up there.
I would love to grow.
And I loved it. I walked in, and I was like, man, it smells great up in here. And it's just, everything was just he had 200 plants. And I tell you what, they smelled great. They smelled great and smelled great too.
Yeah, our friend Dan, the drummer man, is back in Colorado right now doing that.
He hit me up. He told me he started this growing. I was like, man,
I'm so jealous. I gotta go up there and visit him.
I started one little plant, and it was in a little small crate, and they got about that tall. And I walked past it, and I was like, shit, I shouldn't do this. And I grabbed it and pulled it out.
That's what I did.
And my kids and Sid, everybody's making fun of me. They're like, oh yeah, you're not gonna grow. It's gonna grow, and you'll pull it. I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna try to get in trouble. You know, but if we go legal, I'm definitely going to grow it. I definitely want to grow it. I want to become a really good grower too. I would say I'd like to, get really good at it, but I'm never going to get that great at it. But I would love to grow my own.
Right.
Just experience it, try it, smoke it, see what it tastes like. Say, you know what, damn it, I grew that.
Right.
Even if I don't ever grow again, just once.
Yeah.
Or become a better grower and just learn how to do it.
Yeah.
I'm too busy to do it though. You see my plants out there ain't doing so great.
I didn't see him.
My vegetables, I got one little tomato growing. It's starting to turn red. It's my very first one, and all my vines are falling. I got to lift them up, but I don't get a lot of time, and I put them right directly in the sun, so I think it stays hot all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably needs shade.
Yeah.
And one of those things to climb.
I'm starting off with my vegetables and seeing how far I get, but I actually grew 2 peppers and ate them. They didn't taste so bad.
Hell yeah.
So I'm doing there. I'm getting there.
Yeah, I can't wait till we get a garden. I think your phone is dying, maybe.
My phone is dying. That's okay, though. Hey, Dan. What's up, Dan? Lindsay, Tracy, how you doing? But yeah, no.
Donovan, if anybody has any questions about what you just said, they are more than happy or welcome to message me. The thing is that we respect him. And he has done a lot for COCW, so we're not going to bash him or whatever. We know he's got things that he's going into. So, I mean, if anybody has any questions about that, they're more than happy or welcome to message one of us on the board, and we will talk about that. But we're not going to sit here and bash Jody. That's not what this is about.
Nah, plus I'm cool with Jody. That's not 420 then, that's COCW.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's just bull.
Yeah, no,
but I'm just cool. I wasn't gonna ignore it, but.
Yeah, no, we respect.
I respect Jody. He has done a lot. And
what I tell people is you have your right to your opinion, just be respectful about it.
Exactly.
And go to the source,
Get both sides before you make a judgment.
But everybody's got an opinion, it's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, we just try to keep the drama off the lives.
We can move in for this. Move on.
But like I said, we respect everybody's opinion.
Did you talk about what? Were we going to talk about the detoxing? And do we have time for that?
Everybody had a lot of good DIY. How to pass a drug test, and that's good because that should be out there on the internet.
Yeah, we need to know the loopholes.
Everybody will start putting a post out with
their
remedy,
bullshit,
so that everybody can see it. Because everybody needs to be able to see that. Because there are a lot of people that use cannabis on a daily and don't want to get in trouble and want to be able to know how to cleanse themselves for their urine test. I mean, I'm not gonna lie about it. It's the truth. But my brother hit me up and said, "Oh, they got synthetic urine." I'm like,
yes.
I don't know how.
That's what I told Sydney.
I wouldn't know if I was
because
brave
they said
enough.
They weren't gonna watch. From what I heard, they don't watch you pee.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't.
But she said that she needed it for her peace of mind.
Yeah, no, she's doing this for her peace of mind.
For your peace of mind, you need.
She was also doing this because she was planning this. And that's where she came to me and said, "This is another reason why I'm stopping, and I want to cleanse myself and be healthy." Makes sense. And you know what? And it made my day. You know what's funny? All right, you know how me and Sid kid around all the time. Me and Sid joke all the time. I love this relationship that we have. We just mess around. It's
Y'all
fine.
do good together.
Our minds, even though we're opposite, we're totally opposite of each other. I always find out we always have similarities of each other, and it's funny because I'm like, you like that? You do? I didn't know that. You know, been together a year. I found out she liked pickle juice. I'm like, you love pickle juice? So do I. and I was like, I like vinegar and spinach. She goes, so do I. I'm like, wow. But no, that was something that she wanted to do. But you know, I'm glad that she's wanting to cleanse herself, you know, and she's
it's
able,
good for
and
her.
she's able
it's
to
good
do
for
it.
everybody to take a couple days off of smoking sometimes to get
A tolerance break, man.
Yeah.
You know, and that for some people can't do that though. You know, but
well, some people, it's not that they can't, it's that the effects of what happens when you're not taking your medicine is not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. What I was going to tell you about, I got off track because I was thinking about something else, but
sorry.
That's all right. She told me when she brought me in, she was like, hey, come to the room, because I just walked in. I just got back from work, and I was trying to get everything set up here in the den. And so I was sitting here at the desk, and then she's sending me stuff on Messenger. She's like, hey, we want to talk about this and that. And I'm loading the software up. And she calls me. She goes, hey, come in the room. And I was like, all right, cool. And she was like, I want to show you something. And, and she told me the reason why she was wanting to detox and cleanse herself, because you have to understand, we already went to the store and came back. Right. And so a lot of things has already happened. And so she waits, and I'm like, wait, why are you telling me now? And then she tells me, and she's like, this is another reason why I want to cleanse myself. And I was proud of her. I was like, that's cool, that she's really wanting this. And
yeah,
but then, here's the thing, though. My kids are in here, right? And I'm in there, and she hands me this, and I'm just like, and I'm at awe. And I'm getting inside, I'm excited, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, hey, he wants to have a baby. And so I grab this, and I'm trying to walk back to the den. And she's like, don't tell nobody. I'm like, you cannot tell me something like that and expect me to shut my mouth when I want to shout to the world, And she was like, I don't want you to tell nobody. And I was like, right, when I go live tonight, I'm telling everybody. And then we're driving to the store, right? And she was like, you just don't seem excited. I'm like, you told me not to tell nobody. I'm sitting here wanting to post it on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and do a video. I was, getting my hat on, trying to do a video. Y'all understand, I'm growing my hair out, and I can't control my hair. My hair is like all over the place. It's like down to here. And so I keep it all bundled up in here because I've never had long hair. I'm always having short hair. And anytime we go through, she's like, why do you always wear a hat? I'm like, I'm not wearing my hat down. My hair is not to be down. I'm going to shave it. After I finish my next 2 videos, I'm shaving it. And she's like, no. I'm like, I'm shaving it. I can't do anything with it but put it in a ponytail, But, we were coming back, and she was like, don't want to tell nobody or anything. I'm like, and then she's like, her anxiety's getting the best of her. And this is what I'm talking about, her anxiety. And she's like, you just don't seem interested. You just am I making a mistake? I'm like,
she started freaking out in her mind.
She started crying.
You do.
She started crying all the way back home. And I was like, babe, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I said, you caught me off guard. And I was sitting there at all going, wow, And then she's like, you look mad. I'm like, no, I'm not at all. And then I was about to jump up and run in here, and she was like, don't tell nobody. And I'm like, she shut me down, like, snap. And so since I didn't want her anxiety to get the best of her, I just kind of calmed down, sit back. And then as I was calming down and sitting back, she freaks out even worse because I'm not showing. Yeah.
She wanted to get that excitement from me.
Yeah, and I wanted to, but she shut me down.
Yeah, but she wanted to.
So I finally talked to her, and that's to go back to what I was saying, with her anxiety, and it's like, all this is learning to me, and I'm just sitting there trying my best to understand more about it. And it also lets me understand more about cannabis in the process, because I'm going, okay, as me trying to figure out, is it medicine? And look at her going, yeah, it is medicine. It helps with. It's like, to me, it's like taking it. I think of cannabis in the sense of, it's like taking an aspirin or a couple of Advils or a couple of Aleve. If you're using it as a medicine, as a smoking, as medicine. And in her way of dealing with her anxiety was doing the dose, because it was such a high concentrated dose, it helped mellow her out, real fast. Yeah. And as my daughter was saying, though, is it addictive because her body depends on it? And I don't think it's more of a dependency, as I should say. It's more as that the body's used to having.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like somebody who uses. I know a guy who took what are those powder aspirins?
Bayer.
Not Bayer. The powder.
BC powder.
BC powder.
Yeah.
I know a guy that would take those things 4, 5, 6 times a day.
Wow.
I was like,
But that's what he did, though.
Okay, before we lose our radio listeners, I wanted to tell y'all, go ahead. If y'all want to catch the Candy Corner, we'll be here every Monday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, I believe. And we want to thank Coffee Party Radio USA and the Human Solution International for joining with us and helping us out.
Let's give a shout out to them real quick.
And if you ever want to see the Candy Corner live, we broadcast live on Cannabis Open Carry Walks on the Facebook page. Mm-hmm. And so y'all come join us every Monday at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Central.
I say I had it, and I don't think I have it anymore. I don't think I showed it to you earlier.
It's all good.
Oh, there it is. That's the Human Solution, right?
Where's it at?
The Human Solution?
There it is.
Yeah. Yep. There you go.
That's it.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, give a shout out to the Human Solution. Now, as far as like COCW, you're I always see you on and this is my little interview now. So I always see you on Facebook, and this is how we met.
90 seconds.
Oh, we're about to lose them, aren't they?
90 seconds for
Bye,
them,
guys.
but we can stay here if we need to.
So how do you feel about COCW now? Almost what? Year and a half later now.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
Yes.
And y'all made a really big impact.
Yeah, there's a lot of us that have been doing a great job, man. Just getting out on the streets, educating the public. That's what COCW is all about. Just making people get excited about cannabis and educating them on why we want it legal. So yeah, that's Cannabis Open Carry Walks, and that's what we do. And we have our walk coming up on the 22nd.
On the 22nd, guys, if y'all want to join
Burleson
us.
Police Department.
That's right.
2 to 420.
Yes. And I've got signs I've been making. I'll have to have those finished up by the end of the week. But yeah, I want everybody to come out, enjoy, and give a shout out to the world that you want to pass cannabis here in Texas and make it legal here, not just for recreational, but as far as medical as well. And not just passing cannabis. I mean, for what I'm pushing for, it's not just about cannabis. Right. It's just about more of our rights. Or what we should be able to, if we're saying that, the United States is a freedom state, we should be able to have the freedom to choose how we handle our bodies, how we handle our kids, because there's a lot of people out there who are going to court because they want to have their kids on cannabis to treat their illnesses, but the courts are forcing them to use chemicals.
Right.
And
yes,
I feel that.
Who is that? Sorry, y'all. I'm going to look at my notes really quick because he's bringing up a good point. Justice for Kaylee. Right now, they're forcing her to not take that. They took their kid and took him and put Kaylee in CPS because her mom was treating her with cannabis, and they took her kid away and are forcing her to take the medicine that they want her to take.
Also, I'm talking to a young lady that she's wanting to come over to do an interview with me, but she's actually here in the DFW area. And I'm not going to mention her name right now because I'm still doing interviews with her on the phone. But she actually had her kids taken away because she's breastfeeding her baby, but she uses cannabis instead of medicine. And they piss test her because she's on Medicaid, and they're getting on her case about it and had her kids taken away. And she's fighting that. And she's like, I use it as medicine. And that's why she was happy that this law passed. And to help with her illnesses that she's able to use.
Well, see, even if it's not enough THC for them, at least it's going to give them the excuse to have the THC in their system.
Yeah.
So they'll at least still be able to go to the doctor. Right now, if you have THC in your system, no doctor is going to give you anything other than like an antibiotic. They're not going to give you anything for pain, anything for anything.
And that makes me so mad because they say, oh, you have THC in your system. And it's like, okay, but at least I don't got meth in my system, or
I still have cancer, motherfucker.
Or cocaine, but I'm just, shoot me right here because I've got some THC in my system.
Yeah.
And it's just, and that goes back to what I was saying about, do you think it's okay for babies to be on THC? It goes back to that. And it's like, wow, it goes back. It makes a big circle, guys, if you think about it. Is it that safe that our kids could be on it, that we have people that want their children to be on it? But then you got the government.
It's way better for ADHD than than Adderall ever will be. And
see, let's talk about it. It's not about the smoking, though. It's about using the oil, the concentrate.
The drops.
Yeah.
I mean, this is CBD. This is not THC.
We're talking about THC,
But this is the same thing. It would just have THC in it. It's still these little drops.
Yeah. And that's what we're fighting. And just to get that right, to be able to choose that's what I'm fighting for.
Right.
If y'all want to know
Freedom
what 420
to
Den is
choose,
about,
right to
this
choose.
is what 420 Den's about, is to be able to have that right to choose that route, whether you want it or don't want it, to have that right. So, and it's about freedom. Grow our own plants, treat ourselves with our own medicine that we want to use. And that's when I retire, and 20 years from now, I want to be able to retire and have my own little hippie shop.
Right.
And to be able to have those oils on the shelves and have people walk in and be able to treat themselves in a natural way. And like people you see, like Sid growing the chickens, or raising the chickens, raising the chickens, and she's wanting to sell the eggs because she's like, I want to be able to provide natural, range eggs to our, our
right.
to everybody here,
right.
And make a little money off of it. But people like that. They'll go out of the way for milk. I know that he drives 20 miles away just to go get milk.
Right. So
from a milk
fresh.
farm.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are going that route.
Well, you want to do, because the food is poisoning us. That's a whole nother damn show. But
the food is.
It's poisoning us. All the food you get at the grocery store is not good anymore. So they're starting to see that, and they're starting to say, look, I want to grow my own, because that's my deal. I want to go grow my own shit, have my own farm somewhere, and be able to grow cannabis and have everybody leave me the hell alone. You got a tomato.
I got a tomato. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. It's getting that way, guys. I mean, our population is freaking increasing like crazy. We're doubling in size every 2 to 5 years. I mean, or I should say 2 to 10 years, but we double in size, and we got our highways. Hey, have y'all noticed lately that y'all's GPSs are fucked up? My GPS does not work. Not on my phone, not on my truck. It is like jacked up.
Mine worked today to get here. I still have to use it.
Mine will say exit here, and I'm like, and it's updated too. Exit here, so I exit. Redirecting. I'm like, why? And it's also because I'm driving Dallas highways.
Right.
But it's because they got all these new highways, and I don't know if the GPS knows them because it sends me off on a whole different route.
Right.
Fucks me up, man. I spent 20 minutes trying to correct it.
It did that to us when we were going to the zoo one day, man. I was so mad. We were in Dallas, and it took us somewhere. It wasn't even near the damn zoo, and we got so lost. And we only had, you only have enough gas sometimes to get places, and that's it. And we're like, oh, shit.
Well, all right then. So
I'm trying to find comments, but I can't find them. I'm going to have to go to the show.
Well, we're on 3 different places, and my phone died.
Right?
So
yeah, I know. I'm trying to go there.
Guys, that's all I got for right now for me. What you got?
Hey, Jake, what's up? Hey, Lindsay, Tracy. Hey, Crystal.
Hey, Crystal.
Braxton, at 3703, part of the movement, as well as CBD hemp is with 0.3. Thanks for the medicinal and not the stereotypical stoners. This is so much more. Sorry, y'all, I'm reading this. As well as hemp growth and farm improving environmental hazards and as well as builds economical growth opportunities. Y'all are doing great work and speak the truth, but keep growing and working because the community is fighting $1 trillion industry. That's true. And it's going to take all of us.
Do you know if we went legal in Texas, how much more jobs we would have? Yeah, you're probably going to lose a lot in the whole people getting tickets every day, having more criminals, more cases that are about cannabis. So yeah, you're probably going to lose. The government's going to, or the state, is going to lose some revenue in that route. But think of what we could do to help.
Right.
Right. Come on, guys. If you're not for the whole recreational smoking and you're not for that, fine. I get it. All right. But understand there's more to this than just a whole typical stoner.
Right.
Which we are stoners. We're just educated stoners. That's all. And we just want to be able to speak the truth to everybody and say, look, open your damn eyes because you've been lied to. And the whole stigma that your grandparents or my dad was a hippie, but my mom don't smoke it and she don't believe in it, but she's like, I understand what your movement is about. And I was like, cool, that's all I asked. Understand. It's not just about the whole smoking. It's about more than that.
Right.
It's just this right here is the big fight for Texas, and I want to help with this movement.
Right.
And
yeah, we all got to just work together and
hopefully
do our part.
Hopefully the next 2 years.
We're hoping 2020
or 2021.
I'm hoping 2020. No, 20. Is it 21?
That's the next
is
election.
The next election?
Yeah, it's the next
Yeah,
election.
but we're gonna
usually
start fighting a year before, like
Yeah.
really hard. Like you're gonna see us out on the streets like every weekend by that time.
You think Greg Abbott has a chance to keep his seat?
No.
You think?
Vote him out.
What do you think? I want to hear
Vote
y'all's
him
comments down below.
out. Abbott
Let me know what you
needs
think
to go,
about
y'all.
Greg Abbott. You know, I'm not much of a political person, but I know he is not
He is
for.
stopping cannabis.
Yeah, he
period.
is
That
not
is all that
wanting it.
matters.
And so that right
We
there
gotta get him
alone means that if he ain't just going to stop that, he's going to stop other things too. You know, I don't want to talk about that. That's a topic I'm not getting on with this here. That's a whole nother topic right there. Well, not on this channel. But, no, I had something I was going to bring up, but I'm not going to bring it up. I don't want to get political. I don't want my page to be
No,
political.
it doesn't need to be political.
You know,
but it is. But in Texas, it has to be.
About the movement, yes. But I also, you know, on the 420 Den.
No, I know what you're saying.
I want to be more about the fun side.
You don't want to cover that side.
Yeah, the recreational side is fun. Like just like drinking, guys. Like having a bunch of guys in the bag, drinking beer, swimming in the pool, playing darts. You know, cannabis has to be looked as that. Do y'all know they advertise alcohol at some kids' places now?
What?
And they used to be like really against it, and like that's how common it's getting. You know? They're not just because they asked me if I want to advertise my company on this one page. It's about football, and I've seen a couple of Budweiser ads and stuff. And I'm just like, really?
Right.
Has it gotten that common now? It's that common. So why can't cannabis, which is less
It will.
destructive,
We just got to
be
keep talking
that
about
common?
it. You got to tell your sister,
Make
tell
it
your brother,
normal,
tell your
right?
aunt, scream it from the rooftops, talk about it. Stop being quiet about it.
Y'all come out on Saturday here in Burleson. Join me on the walk. I don't know how many people's going to show up. Last time we had like, 10 or 12? I want a big crowd.
There's going to be
I want a big crowd, guys.
Definitely going to be a few people out there. We're going to be at Burleson PD, and we are going to be there from 2 to 4:20.
Yeah.
So
y'all come out and join us.
on the 22nd.
Y'all want to be loud and proud and just yelling at the rooftop, guys. That's all I got here on the 420 Den. How about yourself?
Yeah, just catch Canna Corner every Monday, 8 Central, 9 Eastern, and we will have a different kind of show. I mean, this is our second show. I wanted to thank you for coming on.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming to the
if you
Den.
want to be on the show and you have something to say about cannabis, this is what this show's about, to give y'all a voice. You hit me up and we'll work on it. If we need to get you to call in, then we can do that. Or you can just come to the corner and have an interview there.
Yeah, there you go.
So
that's all we got for tonight, guys. Thank y'all so much. UnclePhil with the 420 Den. Thank you for coming to the
thank
studio.
You.
How do you like the studio? I've been working on it.
I love it.
Like my new lights?
Doing a great job.
Like my new mics. I'm working on my little studio here, guys. But thank y'all for joining us tonight. Y'all catch me whenever I go live, because I don't know when. But I know we were going to talk about getting on with a coffee party. It is something that I am looking into, and may not start right now, but it is something that I would like to do, like a little syndication.
Right.
But it's just my time's crazy. This is one of my busiest times.
Guarantee a day every week. Yeah,
I get 2 busy times of the year, summer and holidays, and I am slammed. And right now I'm slammed.
So
but
stay tuned. UnclePhil
you know,
may
you'll
be
hit me up on the weekends. I always do a wake and bake. If you're new watching, I do wake and bakes on Saturday or Sunday, one of those mornings.
And if you ever want to do another one of these, let me know.
Yeah, just call me and ask me. I always like to be on. I always like to go live and try to spread that word. Guys, we're done. See y'all so much. Y'all have a good evening and the rest of your week. Peace. Bye. And we are out.